celebs. 26 years ago, we fell in love with the story of a group of unemployed men in Sheffield who decided to bet all in the full Monty.
Oh, yeah, now Robert Carlyle returns to his iconic role Gaz in the BAFTA award-winning film for its television sequel. Take a look.
Oh, and Robert joins us now. Good morning, Robert. It's so good to see you.
Good morning, nice to be here.
Robert, I could watch that trail all day. I'm itching to watch it.
Can you believe it's been 26 years ago? It's unbelievable.
In some ways, I can't. In other ways, with my body, it's like, yeah, I can believe it's 26 years ago. Maybe need a bit of that therapy.
So when you got the call from Disney Plus and they said, right, Robert, we're going to get all the cast back, everyone wants to do it, was you straight in there, or was you a little bit dubious?
Well, a certain hesitation, because you don't want to do anything, take part in anything that's going to kind of downgrade the memory.
Sure.
Yeah. The film, it was so loved by so many people around the world, you know.
It really was.
Yeah.
But you obviously then... Something happened.
Well, the other side of the coin is that Phil Monty, it's been like a big warm shadow that's followed me through my whole career. So the prospect of getting back there and working with the guys again was
more than any other film, more than Trainspotting, or, you know, like...
They're 50.
Yeah, sure.
Really?
I mean, I made them about 2 years apart.
Right.
So it's very difficult for me to separate both of those films in my eyes.
It was such a lovely sweet spot in the 90s, wasn't there, of great British cinema coming out and especially kind of stuff that dealt with social issues, but in not a comedic way, but in a way that touched your heart, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, that's the beauty of Simon Beaufoy's writing, that he's able to kind of weave comedy and drama together. It's a very difficult thing to do. It's no easy. It's like a balancing act.
Yeah.
But he's able to bring up issues which are pertinent to people.
Yeah.
But never hammering it over the head
in
such a fashion that you kind of, it's too much. So he's just a wonderful writer, Simon.
Yeah.
So where do we find your character Gaz then in this new series? Where is he at? I know obviously he was a dad. How well has he performed as a dad?
Oh, well, not that well, to be perfectly honest with you.
Done well.
There's a lot of things which is fantastic about Gaz, the character, which I love. You know, he's just as excitable as he was. He's just as exuberant. You know, he's the man with a plan, even though the plans blow up in his face. And his sense of justice is still there, the sense of what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
But if he's got a downfall, he's been an absentee parent. He was for Nathan. And sadly, it's been the same for his daughter, who you'll see.
Because he's always chasing the magic beans kind of thing, is that...
Well, because he's like Peter Pan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how I've always seen Gaz. He's like a kid. In fact, episode 3, there's a brilliant line in it. He says, I'm like a kid, I break everything I touch.
Oh.
Which is really, again, beautiful writing.
Yeah.
But it really sums up Gaz in a nutshell. There.
But for you to want to come back, like you said, obviously the writing, but then the character development needs to be there for everyone, right?
Yes.
And also... with the film, you were dealing with sort of the echoes of sort of post-industrial Sheffield, and now obviously the world is a very different place. 26 down the year, 26. That must have appealed to you as well. Telling those stories as to how Britain's changed.
It's 25 years has passed by. 25 years of Conservative rule. 25 years of austerity for a lot of people, and that has chipped away at these characters' lives. It's also chipped away at the infrastructure of the country. And you see that again in the show. There's the issues that's raised is to do with NHS, mental health care, the state of the schools, cost of living, food banks.
Yeah.
It's all in there.
I can't wait to see it. I'm so excited. How was it going back to Sheffield, and did they welcome you with open arms?
Yeah, listen, Sheffield is the Phil Monty, you know what I mean? That's the birthplace of the whole thing. So we had the premiere up there on Monday, and it was like getting thrown to the lions. I mean,
they just left you.
And then vomited back up again. It was like a mess. But a fantastic night it was.
It was great. Now, we have to talk about the dog. And my spies tell me the dog in episode 1, but overall, the four-legged friend. Like, what can you tell us about you and the dog?
You know, you just put me in it here.
You got on really well, right?
I love the dog, yes. Listen, there's the old thing that you say, you never work with children and animals.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason for that. And with children, it's a different thing. But with animals, Especially because of the time, you know what I mean? You want the dog to bark.
At that
12
moment.
takes later, it's no barking. It starts to get a bit tedious.
But especially when you're on set, because someone always turns up with an animal and goes, this animal is trained
He's
to a
amazing.
fault. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Can do whatever. And like, the only times I've ever worked with animals, like, as soon as you let the dog off the lead, he's scarping over there, or the cat will just hide under a
Well, you know what was
chair or
brilliant?
something.
I had to work with pigeons, right?
No.
Pigeons. So actually, there's maybe seen the photograph just now. I'm standing in the middle of Sheffield Town Square.
What are you doing?
Well,
what can
he's
you
trying
tell
to
us?
catch a pigeon.
Right.
But that's a story for another. So he's standing with these pigeons on in his arms, and they said that they had a pigeon handler. And they said, don't worry, they'll go back into the little coop. And I thought, yeah. As soon as I let them go, they're off in the Sheffield sky. But every take, they went straight back into their wee box. So I've got a newfound admiration for pigeons.
Oh, brilliant.
Won't hear a bad word against them.
Right.
Everyone wants to know, it's a full Monty. Does this mean you're going to be getting your kit off again?
Oh, listen, you're kidding. Nobody wants to see that.
Well, I
surely.
don't
No.
So it's not... You won't be getting naked?
No, no, certainly not.
I always wonder, like, how nerve-wracking that must have been, filming that film.
That was a total nightmare. That was.
Really?
You know, that scene took 2.5 days to film.
No.
2.5 days, and the people that were in the audience, they weren't actually background or supporting artists, extras as it used to be called back in the day. They were people from the local community that were turning up to see the real deal.
Couldn't cope.
So at the end of 2.5 days, in that last moment when that went off, it was just like...
Traumatised.
It was, yes. I'm still, look at me, I'm still traumatised to this very day.
Thanks for coming in. It's good to see you. Full Monty available from the 14th of June on Disney+. Robert, you're a treat to speak to as always, man.
Lovely,
Thank you.
lovely.